There's someone you know who barely uses social media. No stories, no updates, no carefully angled photos. Every time you notice, it feels off, like they're hiding something or thinking differently. Most people assume it's insecurity. They assume it's social anxiety or that they're missing out on life. But psychology suggests something very different. People who avoid social media aren't behind or disconnected. They're operating by a rule book most of us don't even notice. Think about the last time you almost posted something. You opened the app, you picked a photo, you typed a caption, then you paused. That pause, it's like a mini stress test for your social life. Your brain isn't being dramatic. It's running a risk assessment. Will people like this? Will it make me look good enough? Is this version of me interesting or acceptable? Psychologists have studied this for decades. They call it impression management, the way we adjust our behavior depending on who's watching. Social media didn't invent this instinct. It just put every move on a stage where it can be judged forever. Every post becomes a permanent performance. Screenshotted, shared, replayed. Anyone can go back and evaluate it years later. For some minds, that level of exposure doesn't feel exciting. It feels exhausting. Research shows that a huge percentage of users never post at all. They scroll, they observe, they stay quiet. Not because they're hiding, not because they're antisocial, but because constant evaluation drains them. Their brain is protecting them. Over 40% of users post nothing, and that's actually healthy. It's self-preservation disguised as invisibility. Even when you know social media isn't real, your brain reacts as if it is. You see someone's promotion, their engagement ring, their perfect weekend, and even if you logically dismiss it, your nervous system still reacts. It clenches, it compares, it measures. And that subtle, constant stress adds up. People who avoid social media step out of that loop early, not because they're weak, but because they understand how the game is rigged. They guard that mental space like a secret room, untouchable, unpressured, fully theirs. Many of them love YouTube, podcasts, long-form essays, deep conversations. Why? Because those spaces don't demand performance. No one's watching you. No one's counting your worth. You can exist, you can learn, you can think, you can enjoy. That's not disengagement, that's relief. These people tend to have fewer connections, but deeper ones. They'd rather have 5 friends who actually know them than 1,000 people who simply like their posts. 10 real conversations beat 1,000 likes. 10 meaningful moments beat 100 staged photos. Psychologists divide self-awareness into 2 types, public and private. Public self-consciousness is worrying about how others see you. Private self-consciousness is thinking about your own thoughts and values. People who avoid social media lean toward the second. They spend less energy managing perception and more energy building self-understanding. That mental space is where identity grows strongest, where decisions aren't influenced by likes, reactions, or fleeting trends. Silence can be louder than a post. Not everything needs proof to be real. Not every moment needs to be shared. Some experiences lose meaning when they're performed. Some conversations feel richer when you aren't mentally composing a caption. Some achievements feel sweeter when they exist only for you. The paradox is striking. Social media promises confidence, connection, and self-expression. But the people who already have these qualities often feel no need to use it. They're not rejecting connection. They're rejecting the terms. They're rejecting a system designed to measure worth, and winning it isn't their goal. Nobody looks back on life wishing they'd posted more. But plenty of people wish they'd been more present. The quiet ones aren't missing out. They're living first, sharing second. They notice what others miss. The slight change in tone, the subtle shift in captions, the story behind a photo. They're attentive, observant, reflective. They value understanding over performing, depth over noise. And when they act, it's deliberate, it's intentional, it's powerful. Choosing not to post is not fear, it's not weakness. It's an assertion of self-respect, autonomy, and mental freedom. They're playing the long game. They're living life on their own terms. So next time you notice someone who doesn't post much, don't assume they're missing out. They may have simply figured out something the rest of us are still chasing.